Hey all, according to last week's Take-Two earnings call, we got a good look at what state GTA 6 is in, and I thought I'd wait for all the froth to die down and provide my input. So, according to the earnings call, the 19th of November is the official ship date. This is something that is being put out there as a date that is pretty final, and there hasn't been any deviation according to Take-Two. Now, I'll explain a little bit after this about what we're seeing online to reinforce this indicator. With the release date being in November, marketing is going to start in the summertime, possibly in late June. Probably what you're going to get is one more trailer, and then you're going to get a mountain of screenshots, and that should suffice the fans until release date. Also, what you're going to get is you're going to get reviewers closer to this date. They're going to get a build, and they're going to have review scores and everything else. So that usually occurs like 2 to 3 weeks before the game is released, so that there's not a lot of leaks to make sure that the story is intact. When this marketing starts in the summer, what's going to happen is that you're going to be able to make pre-orders. According to what I saw on the earnings call, I don't think the pre-orders are going to start before June, because it just doesn't say on their earnings that these pre-orders are going to go live. Usually pre-orders are booked like 10 days before the game actually ships, but there's no indication in the quarterly earnings that pre-orders are going to affect their earnings at all during this time frame. So it's definitely in June or thereafter. The marketing is going to focus more on social media and less on TV ads, which is great. I think that Rockstar has a very strong background in this. I think the penetration is better than your traditional methods of broadcast TV. So the game is going to provide more value than it actually costs at the retail. You go out to the movies, it costs you one amount, but then when you boot up a GTA game, you're in it for hours and hours and hours, and it's far surpassing any sort of monetary value that the movie would provide. Let me go through what stages I think GTA 6 is actually in right now, and then where it actually needs to go through in development. So I am thinking, based on this response from a wish list post on Xbox on X, is that the publisher has seen, multiple publishers, because Xbox is the only one that's released anything so far, and then there's also Sony has seen an alpha build. So an alpha build is something that all the elements are in place, content has been locked, and nothing is really changing except there may be some bugs that are lingering, but code is trying to be solidified at this point so that there are no crashes. There may be some minor fixes here and there, but for the most part, the game is solid and running at rate, and everything is being seen as it is intended. So this I am saying has occurred in this month, and they're going to probably look at it for 60 days. They're going to submit their feedback on it and turn their test teams loose to provide test plans to go about testing this game. Since it's huge, they need to make sure that they're covering all the aspects. They need something before a beta submission to make sure that everything is covered. And this is my guessing. So, don't hold me to it. Don't go on Polymarket or anything like that and make predictions or anything. The next thing is going to come up is a beta console submission. So Rockstar is going to take all the bugs and feedback that they've been getting, and what's going to happen is they're going to fix everything they possibly can. Then they are going to submit a beta console submission. A beta console submission is something that everything is locked. They are looking for showstoppers. So they're going in and they're going to say, how can I make the console crash? How can I run out of memory? How can I lose users' data? So these are some things that Microsoft's test teams are going to be hitting pretty hard. And what they're going to come back with is a list of suggestions that before you submit anything, you need to fix these items. And they also do it at Sony. If any additional development is needed, so they're going to take these high priority bugs that they found and then submit that back to Rockstar, and then they're going to go away and fix it. I'm saying they're going to go away in the month of August and actually fix any high priority bugs. And then what they're going to do is they're going to come up with a code release candidate for testing. So this is the code candidate. This is the final build that is going to address any issues, and code is locked at this point. There won't be any other changes besides what comes through that the test teams find that are showstoppers that needs to be fixed. They will go through and take a look at this and hopefully submit their code candidate off for console certification. I am thinking with the due date where it is, their console certification needs to be released sometime in the middle of September. So in the middle of September, they're going to go to Sony and Xbox. PC version at this point is, I don't think they're going to release at this time. It's going to be probably sometime next year that they'll release a PC version. But I'm saying that they'll release for console certification. And when they release this, the test teams will come back and have their feedback. Usually on Microsoft's end and Sony, it's usually about 6 to 10 days. It says 6 business days on Microsoft's official website. But the thing is by the time you roll through the weekend and get stuff back and forth, it's 10 days. That is, in my estimate, what it was in the past. Is it usually takes 10 days to get through cert. If you are an expedited title and you need to get through that process to hit a ship date for holiday or something they need that's important, then they will push you up in the queue. Things that fall out of console certification are items that need to be fixed. Put together in a list by the Microsoft teams. They go through and they say, these things need to be addressed. They're called CFRs, conditions for recertification. And once they compile this list at the end of their test run, they are going to submit this back to Rockstar, and they're going to have to submit their fixes. So this is what I'm saying is it's fix certification bugs. They're going to go out, they're going to fix these things, they're going to get back. Hopefully it only takes like 5 days for them to fix it. They'll probably be working around the clock to get this done, but you don't know how long it takes. So, but I'm saying 5 days. So what's going to happen again is that it's going to go back into console certification. Now, I'm calling this a second pass. Obviously, you would want to, if you're any sort of developer, to pass on the first try. But with a game of this size, scale, and scope, I do not think they will pass certification on the first try. So that's what I'm saying is that they're going to have to go in for a second pass. And they're going to probably take 10 days. If they find anything in this pass, based on where it's sitting, now this is in at the end of October, they are going to have to make a call. Is it worth them actually fixing and delaying, or do they need to issue a day one patch? So this game will be issued a day one patch. I probably have no doubt about that. So the team will work on a day one patch and actually put that out when it actually is released to the public. At this point, we're going to assume at the end of the second pass of console certification, these conditions for resubmission are become a day one patch, and they're going to be baked in at the end. So now at this point, GTA 6 is now gold, which means a gold master can be cut for manufacturing, and the game is locked. So these will go to the production houses. It's also known as RTM, or return to manufacturer. This is a big step, and then you'll see online, once this happens, they'll say the game has gone gold. Once this game has gone gold, it's submitted out to the manufacturing houses for replication, and it has to go through, there's probably several different languages, and everybody has to coordinate to get these different languages manufactured by the time it needs to ship. So I'm saying this is going to take 10 days. And also they're going to prep the digital versions to start to be uploaded. Of course, the downloaded versions don't take that long. Actually manufacturing the physical discs should take anywhere between 5 and 10 days. I'm just putting it at 10. Anywhere that sells a physical copy that the public is not going to buy via download. So the next step after replication and manufacturing is your ship to retail. So this is, in this day and age, you say this is an archaic concept. I totally agree, is that most copies will be sold via digital sources, but there are retailers out there who will stock a physical disc, and it needs to get to those people that would want a physical disc. Shipping takes about 10 days to go throughout the world. So, from the console manufacturers' facilities all the way across the globe. So at that point, the game has been shipped, and then we're at our date of November 19th. and everybody is playing and having a good time. This is my timeline based on what I know from the industry. I am just taking some broad stabs at this. But the thing is that where we're at in the current cycle, I know that with Microsoft's wish list, they have seen something substantial that they can say they can put a stake into this timeline and make sure that they hit their due date. I think that if everything goes well, I don't think there's going to be any delay. They've seen enough to make sure it's going to ship. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Am I off? You think it's going to miss its ship date? Let me know. And if you would like to see more videos like this, please subscribe and let me know you appreciate the effort. Thanks a lot, guys, and I will see you hopefully next week.